Hello, welcome back to the channel. For those who have seen us before, you know what we're doing. For those that haven't, this is our 1998 Dennis Dart SLF with the Plaxton body on from Rosom. You see, we've been busy getting it ready for restoration, which meant a lot of tearing stuff out, essentially. Seats have been removed, floor has been removed, leaving us with this empty shell. Some of the metalwork is rotten, but it's not an issue. It's only minor. It's nothing major. The chassis is still very, very sound and very good. Power steering pipes are on the list to be replaced as they are totally shot. The fact they hold liquid is, well, a miracle. And the fact they're still actually held to the bus is also a miracle. This project is being done with the support of our members over on Patreon and YouTube. And obviously YouTube themselves with views watching our videos. Last week, unfortunately, due to someone, not pointing any fingers, leaving the isolator on a few weeks before, the batteries went flat. However, in the 2 weeks I've been not here, because of hospital appointments and lots of other stuff going on, I took the batteries home and managed to charge them up. This took about 2 days each. They were, at one point I thought they weren't going to recover. But with the help of Amazon and a charger that will just keep throwing charging them, I got this King Bullen battery tester, which tests cold cranking amps, or CCA. Our older battery still produces around 950 cold cranking amps, and it's rated at 1060 if I remember rightly. The new one, which we were worried about, because obviously it's new, we voided the warranty because I've let it run so low. They were both like 4 volts each. They were low. That still comes out at 1067 cold cranking amps, which means it's survived. Well, we say that's on this tester. We've got to put them on the bus yet. Let's see if it'll actually turn the bus over, which I pray to God it will. So this week, I plan on getting them back on the bus, attempting to get this sucker to start. Those that are following us will know our main issue is this Cummins 6BT power brick house that I'm sat on, which at the moment is running, or was running, totally crap, and I'm hoping to get it to run a little bit better. We are looking at replacing the engine to get it back up to full health again. In the meantime, this needs to run, because at the moment we're in this yard away from town and district in their overflow while they sort out their shed. When we go into their shed, this will have to run to build air pressure to lift up, as the ground clearance is pretty much non-existent when there's no air pressure. Hopefully, with all that going to plan, I'll be installing our new solar charger for the little car battery we've got. I might try putting the big battery we've got on it as well and seeing if that will start to charge up, because this will only trickle charge. And that's going to be our leisure battery. Because at the back here, we're aiming on a table, turning a seat round, and that's going to be our little office for when we're out on the road. It's practical, we can have dinner, we've got somewhere to eat and all that, and it's going to be nice and practical. Because I was joking with the missus the other day that if I won a load of money, we'd buy a second bus. Yeah, we would. We'd keep this, buy a second one. We'd buy a Decker. And just to annoy all enthusiasts, we'd keep downstairs perfectly normal, but upstairs would be full of living accommodation for us, which would enable us to go further, be warm, and much better for the kids as well. Now, the reason that this is having solar power here is because we want it away from the bus system, so we don't drain that, but also because this is going to be a 12 volt system and the bus runs on 24 volt. So we can't hook it up to the alternator because the alternator throws out 24 volts, or when it's charging, 28 volts to charge the batteries. Now this was bought off eBay, and to be honest, I was expecting something a bit bigger. It's a cheap Chinese product that's rated at 400 watt. I reckon it's going to be more like 10. That's it. And our solar panel is there. I'll show you more detail later. The instructions are epic. Well worth a read. But it should be good enough for now to test the principle, put the wiring in, and then we can put more panels on the roof and what have you to up the voltage going into the battery, which will then provide us essentially all day with being able to charge phones, laptops, whatever, which is important when you've got kids, because when we're out and about, they're stuck to a tablet and it only lasts so long, so that would be good. Last few jobs today is going to be measuring this floor space down there, so we know down there how much wood we're going to need and how much flooring. Up here just flooring, because this is fiberglass, this is going nowhere, this is strong. I've just got to get all the glue off the floor. Probably be measuring the power steering pipes, or trying to see what that goes. But in the meantime, we're going to try and get this engine to run. Now, I have been to Halfords and bought some different fuel holes, because at the moment it's got coolant holes on it. So I've got a bit of 8mm and a bit of 6. What I plan to do is, I believe it's 8mm from this lift pump over to the filter. I'm thinking if I put 6mm on it, I'm going to increase the pressure, which is probably what it needs. And I've got cable ties to secure it. Because can we find the original fuel pipe? Can we balls? And to put the original fuel pipe in, we have to take everything out. The other job I need to do now before I actually get cracking is see if I can get this nut on. Which I'm not going to be able to film because I can't even feel it. I can't see it. I can just about, I'll go back here a bit, I can just about feel it. So the chance of you actually seeing what I'm doing is not. So I'm going to crack on. I'll let you know how I get on. I'm not going to spend about half an hour trying to get this nut on. If I can't do it, then, you know, sod it. It can run without it for now. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. So let's dig into this here and see what we've got. Back on normal mic now from the camera. So right back here there's a third nut that holds the fuel pump on, and can't get that on. But now looking at this hose as well, which runs up here. Can't see any markings on it, not unless see that side, but it does look and feel like an 8mm. Yeah, I think that is an 8mm. So we will try, might not go well, but we'll try and put the 6mm on it as well, and see if that helps any, because that's going to increase the pressure a bit. So right, I need to find a 13mm nut for starters. So I'm going to try and feel for it first. On the left pump, on the left pump, I'm actually on the fuel pump. Not this shining way. That pulls the throttle back. There's a little more room. See, today I physically can't find it. Literally cannot find it. The other day, I was finding it with no issues. So even my hands have got bigger. I'm not in the right place. Because there's one. I can't feel. I don't understand why I can't. This is the normal way I get to it. And I just can't even feel the stud. Feel the bottom of the pump, but I can't get my hand down there. Oh wait, I got my hand down there and I had room to at least move my hand. Just can't reach it, so we're going to have to try and do it without that on and see how that is. Now, it weren't in last week's video, but the reason these rockers are off is because I want to see this cylinder 6 and see how that's behaving. That's why these rockers are off. Make sure they are actually functioning properly. But let me go and have a quick look at this hose. Right, that hose is 8mm. It's only about a 6mm opening on the other side, so it's going to be tight to get this hose on the other side. But right now I've got to get it off down here and all. Oh, it's good fun, this. The other thing that's brilliant is, well, I've just taken off a fuel hose and no fuel's come out anywhere. So see if there's fuel here. Not think the lift pump's in its active area. No, I'd have to rotate the engine. But that means that fuel is running back from this point. So that's actually an interesting discovery, to be fair. Because I would have thought this hose would have held fuel. And it's not holding fuel. So when the engine switches off, the fuel's running back. And then it's not restarting because well, it's got the lift pump's got to lift the fuel all the way, so there's air getting in. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this hose with this proper fuel hose that I've got, and we'll replace the hose that goes from the filter down to the pump as well. Got some new hoses on that. There we go. See, bone dry. Now there should be fuel there, and there isn't. So it's good fun. On to some of our problems. Right, so let's get this on. Typically tape it shut as well as just roll it over. Tape's no match for a screwdriver. Now the only thing that worries me is this is quite short. Oh, it's just about the same length as what was there. So it should fit. Oh yeah. That was that pipe, wasn't it? Let me just get some spanners because I'm going to have to do... It's going to be some imperial crap. It's not going to be metric. Yep, it's a 14. Do without dropping this spanner. No chance anything. See, it's slightly smushed. So yeah, because it's slightly smushed, this is not going to go on very easily. So let me just get an hammer. Well, it's going in. It's going in. Sort of. But I need a bit more than that on it. Right up on the shape now, but it'll do the job. So it is going to be a tight fit, but see how much closer they are together in hole size compared to that. So 6mm is the right size, so it's just a case of, I think, because it's a very snug fit to start off with. So I mean, the engine might not like the ATF oil going through it for the first time, but it's fuel. Just tighten that down a bit further. Make this as tight as possible. Then I've got to repeat the process outside, so I won't bore you with that one. That is a much better fit. Get this back on that pump. It's easier to put it on here when it's not attached to anything because I can twizzle the holes. He says. Well, it's in. I've just got to twizzle it enough now to actually tighten it. So this is an upgrade. We've actually got the right size holes on the fuel system. So the lift pump should be able to deliver fuel much better. We'll have to get the spanner down there in a minute. The other thing is this fuel hole, because there's that slight lip on the pipe, it sort of forces it to do not what you want it to do. There was a 14, wasn't it? So where's the 14? There it is. Careful not to get this hose tangled up with anything. What I can do is if I turn the engine by hand, because the batteries aren't on it yet, I can turn the engine to where the lift pump will work by the hand crank, and then try it. Let's see if it leaks. That's tight as tight now. So give me a minute. Wait, I'm looking. So that's now in. Give me a minute. Do this tight and turn the engine, and then we'll see if we can get fuel out of it and see if it leaks. So I'll put that there now. Let's see. You can hear it sucking air. Comes. It's still dry down there. So that is a success. I don't want to pump too much because I don't want to waste too much. We're wasting enough fuel here as it is. Right, so that needs to be fed out there. Guys and girls, not too sure how this is going to go. You're not going to hear me once it gets running because I've got the mic on, because the mic startles everything, but let's give it a go. A bit of help. We have something. Injector 6 is loose. carrying the whole lot. Full cylinder 5, the whole lot wasn't as well. So, that is the engine part done. It appears it turns over first time every time now. Obviously, I've not left it for too long. We do have an issue where the front suspension won't go up, but that could just be because it's been sat here. It's been cold. Could have a bit of ice in the air system still. Air's escaping when you turn it off, so to me that says there's a valve stuck. So now there's air been built into the system, because the back is up high now. Then when I come next week, I'll try again. We're going to have to start topping it up with fuel though, just to make sure we've got enough, because we don't want to run it out again. But it does appear that changing that hose to a 6mm hose from this 8mm one here has made a difference. It took a bit, as you might have seen, you might have not seen, I don't know, I think the camera died, but it took a bit to get it going and running, but I've done a bit on the other GoPro, and it seems to be running alright now. Still smoking quite a bit. I don't think there's much compression there, to be honest, but we'll just have to wait and see now. So next up is to try and mimic this solar stuff in temporarily, so I can charge a battery, so then I can charge the GoPros and that. So right, let me get the stuff together and we'll be back with you.